Good morning, morning whiskey. Well, how you been? Did you miss me?
Well, welcome to the second and half of
Let's call it the first one.
okay, straight from the horse's mouth. And I'm Mark Green, and it's my buddy Joe Peters.
Joe Peters.
Yeah,
Hey, guys.
And I think, Joe, what we ought to do is open this bottle. Since we're
I'm
going
sure
to
it's a whole lot better than this water that I'm
be
drinking.
talking about whiskey, I happen to make it. It's kind of crazy, but
quite possibly the best whiskey that I've had.
4 generations, and you're still young. There's still time to go
It's
to China
amazing
somewhere,
that your family made it this long, as wild as you guys are.
Well, that was not even an accident. That was actually planned. So, would you like some of this vivacious,
Bless your heart, sir.
whatever
I appreciate that.
delectable goodness?
It's fantastic.
I'll
Now this is the straight.
This
and
is just a normal, straight, everyday. Well, it's not every day, but whiskey.
Well, for me, it's an everyday thing.
Well, you write songs about whiskey, so it should
Absolutely.
be every day.
Now, what's
I'm gonna have a
the
little bit of
this one? Is it? What's the age time on this, or what's the?
You know what? It's close to close to a year
to a
for
year?
process. For a process, about close to a year. Here's to you, sir.
That smells good. Salute.
Well,
Cheers.
And my good buddy Ricky made us these glasses.
That's pretty fire, Ricky. I like those glasses,
Yeah.
man. They're killing it.
He did
Got my
really
name
good.
on it and everything.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Did he spell it right, or how do you mess up Joe unless he's just
I've
J-O?
misspelled my name a time or two.
Well,
After a
but
bottle
that
of
was not really. I
this,
mean,
that, and the other.
that was in Wisconsin, and you really can't. I mean, it's Wisconsin. No, I love people. I love Wisconsin. Don't get me. They have the best cheese.
Fact. Yeah, that actually, it's funny. The one and only NFL game I've ever been to was at Lambeau Field.
Yeah.
And Green Bay was playing the Bears, and had an absolute blast. Froze my ass off.
Well,
But it was pretty cool. And I didn't, I'm not a big football guy per se, so I didn't realize how iconic that field was per se until I started telling people that's just where I went. And, it was pretty interesting. But you're 100% right. They don't make too many good things in Wisconsin except cheese.
well, I've seen a couple of hot girls from Wisconsin. There's a couple of them.
Couple of them.
Yeah, there was a couple of them, but I haven't really been to Wisconsin. I drove through it.
Yeah, I haven't even driven through it.
I stopped. I had to get gas, and actually, it was one of those TNA truck stops. I still don't even know what does TNA stand for. I don't think it stands for the other thing. I don't think it stands for that. But so I went in there, and next thing I know, I'd been traveling quite a while, and I was actually got caught up in a shower. I don't even know what happened. I was so tired. I didn't even have time to soap up because I got interrupted.
I was going to say, this story is going a dark
Yeah,
road. A dark road
it
at a
kinda
TA
did.
truck stop
Yeah.
in Wisconsin.
Anyways, so you know what? I'm just going to talk about this whiskey, man. I mean, this is y'all. This is 4 generations. It was passed down to me from my great grandfathers came over here from Ireland, and they met, and they started making this whiskey, and then it was passed down to my grandpa and passed down to my daddy, and
Do you think that's, not to cut you off, but do you think that's pretty close to the original? That is the original, or is that better than the original?
No, you know what? I stick to the guidelines of how they taught me how to make it.
Yeah.
So it's right on. I mean, it's what I used to, taste growing up. I got my great grandfather's picture on the back of it, and we make several different flavors. Y'all should get out and try it. Is often
what, apple pie
apple pie,
and
peach
lemon
blossom.
drop, peach,
Yeah,
caramel.
yeah.
Fireball.
If you need
Instead
to
of
look
cinnamon.
behind you, you can. I mean, it's right there. And then we are coming out with a Granny's Jam and a Hillbilly Punch, but we've got the cinnamon out and the apple pie, salted caramel, peach blossom, and the regular, just good
Straight.
Dead Horse straight whiskey. It's 81 proof, and Joe
Yeah,
drinks a lot of
It's fantastic.
Well,
cheers to Dead Horse, baby.
absolutely. Cheers to you.
man.
But so that's the story of the whiskey. I mean, and I've been making it all my life, and It's a great product. I appreciate all the help and all the love and support that I've been shown by this great community.
Why the pivot? 'Cause I know, I mean, you did all sorts of different stuff.
Well,
You know,
I mean, I was an engineer for the railroad for 25 years, but I've always made whiskey and might have sold it illegally a little bit here and there. Not really going to talk about that. I just decided after I retired that I was going to try to give this a go, see if, go legal with it and see how it turned out. And, I mean, because of guys like you and, all of our friends that drink a lot, I mean, maybe not a lot. There's a couple of people out there, you know who you are. It's been doing fantastic, man.
Though, but it's funny from the music side of things. When I go out and I'm playing, and people have something that I'm trying to maybe get behind, or they want me to rep their stuff, or Dead Horse to me was a no-brainer for one, because you're a good dude. Know your family's great people.
Some of them. I
love whiskey. Whiskey is my drink, and it's good. I mean, I can't tell you how many times, I've been approached for stuff and trying to be a brand ambassador or
I thought
somewhere like that.
You were
so
talking, it's going a little bit dark there, about being approached. I was starting to get a little scared. We are on the air, Joe.
Shit.
Yeah, exactly.
I will say this product it's amazing. I mean, your whiskey is good, so it's easy to be a part of that. I mean, it's easy to get in stores. I mean, you guys are blowing up right now. I mean, you've only been doing officially, Dead Horse has been around for what?
150 years.
Well, I mean, now in
but
this
you talking
light,
about it? It's taken 5 years to get from
to this point,
start to finish where we're at right now, and we're out about now almost 6 months, and we're way over 100 locations,
6 months,
including Vaughn's and Albertsons and local Solly's bar and restaurant in Bakersfield. I mean, you guys have showed me a lot of love.
Well, Bakersfield is definitely, and for people that are listening that aren't from Bakersfield or have heard of Bakersfield, Bakersfield is it gets a lot of bad press, but realistically, this town it's amazing. I mean, the people here.
It is. We're the other California.
Yeah, I mean they're very supportive, and if you're a part of their inner circle and you're part of their group, and if you're a good person, people here pump you up.
Absolutely.
And it's kind of nice because
that's a true story.
I've got buddies that are in the ag industry that are from other states that have come here to start their businesses, and within the first year of them being good people and meeting the right people, they've blown up. And they're doing fantastic. Now, at the same time, I've seen other people that have come here and that, grew up here that aren't so good people, and they can't catch a break because, Bakersfield, I think we're at, 600,000 people here? It's a fairly decent-sized town, but Absolutely. It's really small. And, I mean, the people who are doing good business and are good people, they really excel here. And so this is to me, this is the exact example of that. You got a good product, good people, and
well, it's kind of, but it goes, all walks of life. I mean, going from whiskey to, your music. I mean, man, it doesn't matter where you play. I don't care if it's, out in front of a place or inside a place. It doesn't matter. I mean, people show up in droves just to listen to your music, man. And I mean, I've seen, I've seen it time after time. I mean, I've been all over the road with you, Central Coast, Fresno, all over. I mean, Texas. And, I mean, these people are just, well supportive of you. And, you got to appreciate that about people.
Well, I do. I mean, for me at my level of music and where I'm at today, it's not necessarily something that you do for the money because there's really not much in it. But what the reward or payoff for me is a growing, I don't even like calling a fan base, but a growing, support out there. And, all the people that do appreciate my music and like my music, they really turn into family and friends over the years. These people are people that have followed me, from people that live back in Kentucky and, in Pennsylvania and all over the place. I get people over in Australia and Ireland that follow my music, and they're following my career closely. So it's more so than just a fan base. I mean, these people, I think they genuinely do care about, what I'm doing out there. And so that's that's nice and it's refreshing because that's what keeps your motivation and
absolutely keeps you going.
Yeah, it keeps you going. It keeps your fuel tank going because
Absolutely.
it's our buddy Tim Styles and I when we go play a lot of these shows and stuff, and he'll tell me, hey, don't go play that place. It's a soul crushing gig, and relatively meaning that there's 2 to 3 people in there, and you won't ever get one single clap, not a tip. You'll go places where there's 50, 60 people as a packed room, and you could play everything from rap to country to blues to anything, and not one song hits people. And those are the shows that really suck, and it's hard to do. It really kind of takes a toll on your motivation. But going down the road that I'm going through, and playing the places that I'm playing, and developing the kind of the base that I've got, we're always playing to at least one person that appreciates what we're doing in the room, and so that's kind of a nice thing. It's very helpful, and it's fun right now. I mean, playing music is fun. I mean, obviously we're coming out of COVID times. We're still in the middle of it. Who knows what level of this we're in, but you got to do something during this. You can. Like my buddy always tells me, you can go through it or you can grow through it. And
Absolutely. Speaking of Tim, we're going to have him on the show.
Yeah, I was talking to him before I came in here, and he was really excited about coming on. So we're getting ready to head out to Arizona, and he's ready to get out on the road. That's this is all Tim does for a living is write music and play. So
does well.
He's dying.
Speaking of your music, I went down to National Finance Rodeo. They had it down in Arlington, Texas, which is usually held in Las Vegas. Yeah. And I'm walking around there, and I had a sweatshirt on, and a lady comes up to me and asks me if I knew you.
That's crazy, man.
She was like, do you know Joe Peters? I said, well, yeah, he's a good buddy of mine. And she says, man, I really love his music. And that's, out of,
That's cool.
Well, I mean, it's brand recognition. I mean, it made me, that kind of stuff's just awesome, man. When somebody walks up that you don't know, and, she said, I've heard of your whiskey. She said, but I love Joe Peters' music. And I was just like, that's awesome, man.
Fact of the matter is, and I don't care what a person's doing. I don't care if they're selling whiskey, playing music, or working in the oil fields, having they got their own deal going. They got their own brand, company, whatever it may be. You have to be able to gauge if what you're doing is right, and if it's working or not. And if you're not out testing, you're not out playing shows, you're not out pitching your whiskey, if you're not out, putting your stuff out in front of people, you're never going to know. And, the marketing side of things with social media these days and all the different platforms, it's hard to know which direction you should be going. Because there's so many different ones, and there's so many different ways we can market ourselves. But I take kind of a shotgun approach, straight from the hip, and hopefully something hits. And it's nice to see that what I'm doing is catching some traction somewhere along the line. And you learn as you go. Everything's a process. 150 years it took to get this right here today, and so. I don't got that much time on this earth, so I gotta speed it up.
I mean, we are. I mean, Dead Horse Whiskey is just trying to get on every platform we can get on, man. Because you know what, we got a great following. We have a bunch of people that share the product on social media, and I encourage that. It's just like your music, man. I tell everybody. People that won't listen. I had to chase a lady down the other day to tell her about Joe Peters' music. She ended up hitting me with a stick, but no, I'm kidding. It's honestly brand recognition. It helps us, push product. But you know what? It's more personal than that. It is. It's really more personal than that, Joe. Your music is you. I mean, I know that people like to hear you, cover something, whether it's Waylon Jennings or, Merle Haggard, but, your music is, I mean, it's awesome, man. It's storytelling, that. You know what I mean?
Well, this last EP that I released, which is called Raise the Bar, I released that back in, I think, June of 19. And, each one of those songs on that there's something personal to them. And, you know, while I was in the process of putting all those songs together for that project, you know, I probably had, you know, 20, 30 songs that I was, you know, writing and that was looking at that would be a fit. And, you know, the way that all those songs shape up, it's a story from song 1 to song 5. It's a first chapter, second, third, fourth, and fifth chapter, and a continuing story. And they were all personal for their own reasons. And it was strange when I started, you know, one of the main reasons that I picked a couple of those songs, which I didn't think were that, you know, crowd pleasing per se. I went and played them a few different times and just kind of testing them out and put them out on social media, and people sending me direct messages and private messages saying, God, that's exactly my situation. I know exactly what that is. And so being able to, you know, you think people have these, you know, things they keep up inside of them. They don't want to talk about them. They don't want to get, you know, put themselves out there because they feel like they're going to be kind of alone in that. And it's surprising to me, a lot of people go through the exact same stuff that I was going through.
Absolutely. That's life, man.
Yeah, and
that's what country music is about.
Right, and that really, it helped me kind of just realize that, you know, shit, you just gotta write, and don't worry about writing a number one. Just write a good song.
You just gotta write a good song.
You know, that's the goal, is to keep writing a good song. And you know, I got a new project coming out. I'm going to Nashville in middle of February to start recording that, and it's going to take a completely different approach to this project. But you know, this life to me, the music life, is all about just seeing what works and keeping going. You know,
right.
I did things in my life for so long that took away all my joy and all my happiness, and ran my tank completely dry. And I don't really want to do that with music. I want to keep it manipulate it to where it never stops being fun. I never stop appreciating it. And so it's a strange deal, because it could be, I mean, it could be any direction.
Sure.
You know what I mean? It's
Absolutely.
no different than the flavors you make from your whiskey. You know what I mean? You know, you just figure out what works and try to keep people engaged as much as possible.
Absolutely. You make a good product and people are going to enjoy it, and they're going to come back for more. It's the same with whiskey or anything you do in life. I mean, if you just strive for perfection, that's all you can do.
100%. I mean, you know, if you think about Dead Horse 150 years ago, the conditions of the world at that point, you fast forward to now, you know,
I'm pretty sure the conditions were better then.
Yeah, well, that's no shit.
I mean,
that's no
from.
shit. But the fact is that 6 months ago, we were still right in the middle of this whole COVID thing. You guys released a product, took a chance on something, and you know, it's out doing it's doing good. I mean,
it's doing good.
You know, and so that's exciting to me. So hats off to you. Cheers to you.
Oh, cheers to you, sir.
Cheers. And cheers to Ricky
and cheers
for
to
the
Ricky.
glasses.
Yeah, appreciate that. It's a very fine edging job that you did, Ricky. I don't know if you got a little machine or something that did this or whatever. But
did have a flathead screwdriver, I'm sure.
You know, he's
pretty.
Away. Ricky's our guy. He's pretty crafty. Yeah, he really is.
So what's the plan for Dead? What would be the 5-year goal for Dead Horse for you, and what would you like to see it happen?
Can we talk about like a 5-minute goal? Do we have to go 5 years and 5 years? You know what, man? I'm just going to keep making whiskey. That's my plan. My original plan was I wanted to get this on the shelf. You know, honestly, my grandpa hated the government. He hated the U.S. government. He made illegal whiskey and sold it everywhere. And it was a big thing to me when I decided I was going to do this. It was a huge thing to me because I was like, if my grandpa knew I was going legal with his whiskey, seriously, he'd have shot me. Maybe not killed me, but he shot me in the foot or something. I mean, he was just that way. He hated the government, and you know, but that's just part of it, going legal and doing all this thing the right way, you know, and getting it out there and trying to, you know, show people that, you know, this is something not that I came up with. I mean, this is something I was taught to do from when I was a little kid. And, you know, I've taught both my sons to make it, and my grandsons are going to make it. And, you know, this is generational. It's not something that's going to go away. It's not something that, you know, is going to change. I mean, with different flavors, but it all starts, you know, from the distillate, from the ground up, you know, and that's how I was taught to make it. And so you want people to enjoy your product regardless. I mean, this is not my recipe. This came from my great grandfathers. And, I just, you go through life, and I know you're this way. You want people to be proud of what they're listening to.
Yeah.
Or what they're drinking. You're like, hey, man, I know that guy, and he's a really, really solid guy. He's a really good, he's a really good dude. And so going forward with that, you're just like, I want people to enjoy this. I've been blessed, man. I mean, honestly, I've been blessed. I mean, don't get me wrong. I work hard, sometimes it's 7 days a week, 14, 16-hour days. But, I mean, that's just part of it when you're trying to put yourself out there and try to put a product out there that you believe in.
But it's all, it's not in vain at all, because, I mean, what you're doing is, it's all coming together, for one. And two, I mean, you got something that you actually love and you appreciate it. I mean, it's a vulnerable thing. You take a chance to put something out there. If I put a song out there, you put a new flavor out there, you put a new whiskey out there that doesn't hit, you're
like, well, fine, don't drink it. I don't care.
Exactly. You got to be able to.
So I don't know. Every time he does that clap thing, I get a little nervous. Reminds me of my mom chasing me down the road trying to whip my ass.
All professional.
Right. Yeah. So you know what? I was talking to my buddy Joe, and we decided, I don't know if it's a good idea or not, but we're going to bring the fifth generation in here, and my son Cody.
Someone who actually knows what the hell they're doing.
Right. Yeah. He's actually responsible for getting us everywhere, including the North Pole. I mean, I heard from Santa himself this last year. Yeah. He said a couple things I really didn't appreciate, but we're not going to talk about that. Come on in. Come on in. Sit down, sweetie.
Nice cozy chair here.
Oh, your chair. So I got you. He made you your own. Yeah, Ricky made you your own glass. I told him it was a bad idea because you probably drank it the first time that you drank out of it. But
Ricky's a handy man.
He is.
Is that enough?
Beautiful.
You work your way up.
Yeah.
Cheers.
You get you a beer instead.
Cheers, man.
Here to you. So, no, I kind of wanted to leave it. Cody's ugly.
That's the fifth generation?
We're trying to.
The fifth generation.
You really,
he's the one who's out there responsible for all this mayhem in the world.
Exactly. There absolutely is.
Getting everybody drunk.
Yeah, I was going to leave it in front of him because he's not really cute.
No.
And his mustache, I don't even know what you're doing with that. Joe told me.
I can't be shorter than you.
Well, wow, that escalated quickly. Joe told me you needed to see somebody about that mustache. He said maybe you could either, do some old movies or go back into porn.
Be a stuntman for
Say when.
Stuntman for something. I guess I better move the model all the way so everybody can see.
How's your whiskey sales going, Cody?
Yeah.
You're the one that's out there selling all this stuff.
No, it's going well. We just moved to the coast with Vons and Albertsons.
That's perfect.
You moved?
So, yeah.
You didn't tell me.
I did move a couple times.
Congratulations. Now I can celebrate.
Yeah, so it's going well. We're in Paso, Atascadero, Pismo,
Morro Bay.
and Morro Bay. And then I think we're going to 5 different locations
That's awesome.
this week again, I think.
Yeah.
So you guys
Syrup
seen any
further
spot that wants flavored whiskey versus just a straight whiskey? I mean, the sales kind of
Well, I think the Peach Blossom right now is outselling everything.
Peach Blossom is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Peach Blossom.
I feel like
is
the apple
outselling.
pie will probably catch up pretty soon, but
Oh, I think so.
Apple pie is good. I had that the other day. It was fantastic.
so
I feel like you're kind of in a competitive market. Obviously, I mean, people
I'm
are
competing with myself.
It would be like, I mean, you guys could go out. Bird Dog would be like is the one that's coming and does like all the different flavors.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Well,
But,
they do that.
But they're like light. Every time I've drank one, there's no body to it. There's no,
right.
I don't know. It's just, it feels,
Thirsty,
light.
fella?
yeah, that's a hell of a deal.
Wow.
You guys
Joe,
got
I've been-
something with the flavor mixture.
I think another thing too is our color. People are attracted to the color of the product because a lot of it is, you just see like a regular color in
Yeah.
the whiskey, and it's just they add, I guess it would be like syrup or
Yeah.
infused or whatever
Oh,
they
we
do,
don't do
but
that.
ours is colored, so
Well, I mean, with even like the label, I mean, the labels are just awesome. I mean, the,
It's very
the
pretty.
flat, is it satin finish on that? Is that what
It's
it
very
be, or-
satiny.
Right? I mean, it's clean. It looks good.
Reminds
Yeah.
me of a girl I used to know. She
Catches your eye.
I don't talk about that. She was very satiny though.
Mm-hmm.
She was.
I think that's Satan. Not
Was it?
Yeah,
Is that spelled the same?
a little bit.
Satan.
I don't know, maybe.
It's
Can we
kind
get
of
a fact check?
maybe. Ricky?
Oh, okay, yeah.
Oh, well, thank you.
Something like that.
We don't know how to spell. Thanks for telling that.
As a Bible.
Thanks for telling.
That'll work.
I got a couple of those from my dad, and I'm not allowed to touch them still. So we were talking about satin and Satan.
Yep.
I'm going to agree with you that she probably was a little bit of both. She was very kind of silky, satiny, but she was the devil.
Did she wear Prada?
No,
No.
I don't even think she knew. What the hell is
Was
a
Joe
Prada?
gonna bring the guitar on the show at all?
Yeah, well, eventually, yeah.
That'd be good.
Why are
Yeah,
you
that'd be
pressuring people?
that
You've
would be
been here
good.
like 30 seconds. You're already pressuring.
Who's calling me?
This is how he sells everything. It's high pressure sales.
Somebody calling you? You mean to answer it?
No. We don't need that happening.
You
I
do.
just stole like 3 of my girlfriends. I don't.
You know what? They were done with you. It's not my fault. They were sitting at the bus stop, and I'm all, hey, do you need a ride? I had a bag of candy in the truck. They wanted candy.
This is going great.
Free candy, free hugs.
It escalated pretty quickly, Joe, let me tell you. And there was a case right there of satin over Satan. They were absolutely Satans. You turned them, they were bad. They were
Yeah,
all bad,
yeah.
yeah. I made them ride in the back of the truck, very back, not the back seat. It was just not right. And I didn't steal them. They asked me to take them to the store.
Jeez.
Nothing sells more whiskey than free candy stories.
Right.
Free candy stories.
Free
Yeah.
candy.
Thank you,
So-
Ricky.
Well, it's funny because I actually, I drive the van. And
Yeah, that's
I'm
not
I'm
creepy.
kind of like a candy / ice cream man on
Yeah,
wheels
that's not,
that sells
that's,
whiskey.
that's kind of
Works out
creepy. You
perfect.
drive a van. Yeah,
Roll to
Joe
the
and I
bar
drive
and-
trucks. You drive a van.
Yeah.
I wish I had a van right now because I'm gonna have to go over the mountain right now and it's raining and I got all my equipment in the back of my truck.
I'm
so
pretty
it's
sure
gonna
you
be-
don't need
Well, when you can still pull women in a van, I
What
think
does that
that's
say?
just-
Are you bragging
know.
right now? You're sitting next to
Lane
Joe
Frost
Peters.
did it in 8 seconds.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
And he had his name on it and everything. And a picture in the back of it. And so,
Right.
you're no Lane Frost.
No.
And I can't believe you're saying all this right in front of Joe Peters because that's Joe Peters. I don't,
The Joe Peters.
yeah, that's what I mean. I mean,
I
they're
don't know if we want to go down that road on the
Yeah,
on the
no, they're like,
podcast.
oh, no. Their first thing is, oh, you know Joe Peters? Well, yeah, he's a good buddy of mine. Can you introduce me? Ma'am, excuse me, but you're like 82 years old. I'm pretty sure. I mean, I'm not gonna, hey, Joe, date whoever you
They
want.
heard my Merle Haggard. covers.
Right, that's what it was.
That's what it was.
Just got them going.
Sing me back
Sent
home.
them back to the days.
So, what's going on with you? What do you got coming up?
I don't know.
You-
Living day by day here.
Day by day, is that what you're going with? Wow.
Are you guys gonna try to get in like when like all this stuff opens back up and do any like festivals or try to get into like some of these big events? Like,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Just saying, we're going to use you to get into those big events. That's.
There was a golf event we were supposed to do early
Oh, that's
December.
right. Forgot.
Yeah.
There's supposed to be a bunch of people there.
Eminem or somebody,
No,
J
it
Lo.
was like J Lo and there was like 200
It'd be nice
celebrities that were going.
if I could get her to drink my whiskey.
We did a deal a while back for a tequila company, and it was a pre-Oscar party, and so we were down at the Beverly Hilton, I believe is the hotel, and these people had to buy, they brought in all these cases to sample and give away to all these people walking through there, all these celebrities. And I found out later that they charged $95 corkage fee on every bottle that these people opened
Wow.
for tasters. I was like, you got to be kidding me.
Yeah,
That's
well,
crazy.
And they opened like 40 cases
Yeah.
of tequila, and they got a bill at the end of it for opening all these cases for tasters.
Wow,
Yeah, I couldn't believe it.
$95.
I
For a
just
corking
just
fee.
for a corking.
I
Wow.
just open it for nothing.
Some expensive tequila.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's terrible. Jose Cuervo.
Take purple, you are a friend of mine.
Now, is there going to be like are you going to start doing like package package deals up with like, are you gonna start putting some glasses in with some bottles and start putting
Well,
those
you
out
know,
down the road? Or like,
we've
what's
been
that
talking
gonna-
about doing something like that. I mean, it's not the first time that's been done. We're just waiting on Ricky to hand do all of these. That might take him a little bit, but
We've done. I've actually done a couple dry tastings around town to where we'll take the glasses out and T-shirts, and then if you buy 2 bottles, you get 2 glasses and a T-shirt for free.
Smart.
But just to get the kind of like a promotion deal, it gets people to buy it, and then
I get asked all the time
That's
if
a
you guys
name
are ever going to do tastings and stuff, and obviously now you guys are going to be in a tasting room. and
it's
stuff, and
hard
so-
because we can't really do it anywhere with COVID and everything
Right.
going on. But
well, that's where we're
You know.
sitting at is in our tasting room.
right,
I mean, once this stuff's over with and we can open up, we're gonna have y'all come out and, we'll probably have some crackers, potato chips, I'm sure, something like
Yeah,
that.
well, I'm feeling like everything I'm hearing, it's coming quicker than I'm thinking.
Yeah.
I'm getting people
That's what I'm
saying,
hearing
hey,
too.
between February through April, I've already got bookings out, in a couple different states, and so it's like it's happening. Things are moving in the right direction at least. So
well, our lovely governor just took the ban off or whatever, the stay-at-home thing.
What?
So everything's supposed to be opening back up.
Huh, wonder why I did that.
Thank you to Gavin Newsom.
Yeah, I wonder why I did that. I mean,
it's hard to say.
we're not gonna get political on this
Yeah,
show.
no.
I mean, I really want to right now, but I'm not going to. I mean, some people, things just come to them overnight. Like, after January 20th, they're all, you know what, I just feel like I need to go down a different road with my life than what I was. It just happens.
The
Joe.
New Year's resolution.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what?
Right.
I'm just going to turn over a different leaf and be a different guy. There's nothing wrong with that.
Well, it could happen. Could potentially.
Well, cheers to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's to
Cheers
you,
to turning a new
Mr.
leaf.
Newsom, for turning over a new leaf and discovering what you did was really wrong. Again, we're not being political on this show at all.
Nope.
We don't need to. If y'all know me, y'all know me, and I just leave it at that.
I was supposed to be sober this week.
What day is it?
That didn't really work out though.
What day is it? Are you drunk?
Wednesday.
Only had a couple of sips. Slow down.
It's,
You
a
don't-
downhill slide
Joe
once
and
you
I
drink
can
Dead
it.
Horse
I mean,
whiskey.
Is it? It's a
Yeah.
downhill. That well.
Yeah, I mean sometimes you just can't stop.
Right,
Right.
I
It's
understand.
so
yeah.
good that
I've
Yeah,
seen me do it.
Next
I've
time
seen me do it.
we're not. I thought we weren't talking about Texas except for that thing, Joe. Not my fault.
Good times as always.
It wasn't my fault. It
Charlie
really
and the
wasn't.
Chocolate Factory, is that what we're talking about?
No,
Oh, not the Oompa
Charlie and
Loompas.
those were your doing. We already
You
talked
you
about.
dropped me off.
I know, I understand that, but you talked to Joe about it the
I
next
don't
day.
think the listeners really want to go down that road.
No,
No,
either.
we're not
No.
going down that road, Joe. I'm just saying, he brought a topic up and I was replying.
I want to know if you guys are going to come out. I've got some shows in Arizona this weekend. And I'm
Yeah,
trying to
no.
get Mark
Yeah,
Cody
no,
to come out.
I'd jump in the truck.
I think
you
that
know
would be
what I mean?
cool.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You got anything going?
Well, Macy's here and her friend tomorrow, but
That's not my
they
fault.
can- Yeah,
The-
let's go to Arizona.
You heard it here, folks.
Sorry.
Coming to Arizona.
Yeah.
So
Soon.
we got Palm Springs tomorrow night, La Quinta Brewing, and then we're going to do Four Silos Brewing on Friday, and then Dirk Smithley and Whiskey Row on Saturday.
On Saturday? Oh, we could
Yeah.
do that.
Whiskey Row would be, that's a good spot.
That's a good spot. Yeah,
Yeah,
pretty good
I've been there a couple times. It's a really good
And
spot.
you know what, though?
You think
That-
Dirks would let me give him a hug, maybe?
Doubtful.
I don't think he'll be there, but
You don't know everything.
maybe
I
make some
will
phone
say
calls.
that they were very difficult to get in touch with, and they're a hard cookie to crack.
Really?
And I've been reaching out to them for the last year plus,
Wow.
sending emails, sending messages any way possible.
That's
And
called
then I-
stalking, Joe. You should
Yeah,
do that.
absolutely. I'm a high-pressured salesman, kind of like Cody.
Yeah.
But this whiskey is now in 150 stores, and I'm now playing at Dirk Smithley's Whiskey Row this
There we
weekend.
go.
So it all works out in the end.
Why wouldn't you?
I had to do a little bit of fibbing. I had to pretend that I had a manager and all that good stuff. And I do all my own booking. So,
Cody has a manager.
you know, I'm like head cook and bottle washer around here. And once I finally kind of presented it in a way that it was a little bit bigger than it was,
Right.
the show's a little bit more
That's
well-to-do. They bit, so it worked out. So hopefully it goes well.
Yeah, that
That's
was.
usually how things go for me in life. You present it bigger than it is, and you just
And
you know
just,
you
just
get what
say
you
a
want.
prayer and let's go. Exactly.
It's this big. I'm not lying to you. You
Well,
get sued
that'll be
yet?
good.
Did you get sued?
No,
Was
not
there
yet.
a lawsuit?
No.
I'm just telling you how big it is. You don't believe me? You can find out by yourself. Next
And
thing
they
you
do.
know, yeah,
Now I've got restraining orders.
yeah. Mr. Green, you're not supposed to be within 50 feet.
They edit around all this, right?
The show left.
Yeah, we won't have a show left.
You know, some of these things the listeners really want to hear, Joe. Others of them, they really don't. Maybe we can edit, you know.
Whiskey talks.
Whiskey makes you
No,
talk.
it's not whiskey talks.
What
It's
is it?
straight from the horse's mouth.
Oh, that's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah, so, but I like
thought it
whiskey
was-
talks.
That's
Have you
what I
seen
thought it was.
the Comedy Central's The Drunk History? It's people
Pretty much
sit
the
down.
same show.
Yeah, right. They sit and they basically just get tanked and then recount a
Yeah.
historical event, and
That sounds pretty fun.
It's hilarious
A historical event that we did, or a historical event
In
that somebody
in history.
in history.
you know,
So what would we
like D-Day or something like that. You know, they would
Oh, that's not-
they would talk about that. They'd talk about the Gettysburg Address or something, but they'd be all jacked up and they'd be talking about it
So,
in their own words. and
well,
it's
we
pretty
could
fun.
talk about so much political stuff right now. It'd be ridiculous. We'd be here all night.
You guys
Remember-
get blocked off of YouTube before you put your first one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we can't really. Yeah,
We could put the sensory thing on there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you kind of have to.
Right? No
I
shit.
don't even know what historical event the last 10 years. You guys come up with one.
The last 10 years.
The last 10 years.
Oh, I was going to say
That would make
9/11,
you
but that
when you
was-
were 15,
Yeah. I don't
and
know.
Joe was.
This last year was probably
20.
the worst of it all.
Yeah, COVID's history was historical event.
There was,
Yeah,
you know,
we could do that.
This, yeah. Do we
Kobe
go in
Bryant.
order?
When okay, and this is the thing. I'm going to bring this up right now because this is a thing we could talk about. Historical event. These freaking masks that we got to wear, y'all. I mean, seriously. I mean, I'm not saying they don't work or do work, but I don't know how many of y'all are out there tired of wearing masks. But I mean, it's ridiculous. I mean, does it stop the spread? I haven't really seen the numbers, Joe.
You know,
I don't know. I can't really call that, but it
it's just gonna be
seems
over
to
when they say
me
it's over. That's all that matters.
that it's starting again, kind of crazy. It's seeming to me that things are kind of going back to normal now. It's kind of weird that a lot of people aren't wearing masks and things are different, and it just I don't know.
It was always pretty well normal for me this whole time. You know, I mean, I never stopped working, and I played I think just shy of 90 shows
Yeah.
during COVID times, and so I did get asked to play a show in Vegas, and these people wanted me to wear a mask while I was singing. I said, I don't think you understand how
I don't think I can
microphones
do
work.
that, Scooter.
And
Yeah.
so, people were just a little bit different about stuff. But I mean, you get in where you can fit in.
No, I'm not
And-
saying don't wear a mask. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that if it works, it works. But if it don't, I'm just tired of wearing a damn mask.
Yeah, I'm tired.
That's
of
it. I mean, I think everybody's tired of wearing them, regardless if you want to wear it or not.
It's like taking your
especially
shoes off
women.
when you
I
get on
mean,
a plane and stuff. It just, it's
yeah.
just
Well, yeah.
one thing leads to another, and it's just gonna be that way forever.
Yeah,
You know?
next thing, yeah. I mean, that body cavity search I had to do in St. Louis was just, inappropriate.
Yeah.
I
You
mean,
get a new dentist.
yeah. I mean, I don't understand how that even happened.
Not that kind of cavity. Did
So-
they find anything?
No,
Well, that's
it wasn't from lack of trying. I mean, it is St. Louis. Things happen.
Shout out to
around
the FFA. Wait, that's not
FFA.
the, what is
The
it?
Future Farmers of America have nothing to do with that.
Who is it? The
The
FAA?
did you say the
FAA.
FFA?
Yeah, FAA.
You just said the F. give me
There's
that.
some hogs
Flight
involved. There's
Associates.
definitely some hogs involved.
Yeah, that's what happens. Next thing you know, the FFA, wearing their white clothes with a green scarf, and they're just
They're
That's
sitting there
that's
giving you a
4-H.
full body cavity search.
excuse me. That's not even nice. Those are kids.
Yeah, I don't.
Terrible.
FAA,
Yeah,
Federal Airline Administration, I guess. What is
maybe.
it?
Aviation.
There you go,
Aviation.
Aviation.
Yeah, administration. Yeah,
I wasn't gonna argue. I didn't know.
yeah. Well,
That's why
you
we
know,
have
that
Ricky. He was
that
our
was really,
fact
yeah,
checker.
he's he's
That's
like a
when the
dictionary.
free candy story started.
Exactly.
You can have all the FAA as long as the ATF doesn't show up.
Yeah,
Is that why
ATF
Halloween
shows up,
is
it's
your
all
favorite
bad.
time of year?
Sometimes,
Because of all the free candy?
maybe.
Mm-hmm.
What's wrong with candy? You against candy or something now?
How long is it gonna be before you guys? I mean, how often are you gonna turn over a new flavor?
Oh, we're coming out with 3 different ones, and one of them's not even on there. Back there, it's called El Sancho,
El Sancho.
and
Good one, yeah.
it's
Sancho.
jalapeno.
Keeps you warm at
I'll
night.
say that right. Yeah, jalapeno flavor
Little jalapeno.
infused with lime, and man, it is so good. I mean, I don't want to use the words panty dropper, but I don't.
Well, what's the timing? I mean, you think of something like that. How long did it take you to develop that flavor? I mean, is that
Oh, 6 months. But I mean, it's all in. They're coming. I mean, we're waiting on labels. We're waiting on a lot of stuff we have to wait on is the TTB, which is the federal government, to say it's okay
right?
that we can make it and come out with it.
Make that flavor.
Make that flavor,
Oh, really?
you know, how we make it and what we put into it and all that. And they basically, you know, they give us the thumbs up or something's wrong. They give us some thumbs down. We got to go back and, you know, change things, make them a little different. But all of those flavors that I'm talking about, they're already approved. We're just waiting on labels and start getting them out there. And I mean, man, that flavor jalapeno is awesome.
It is.
To make margaritas and stuff out of with.
Yeah.
I mean, you can actually just pour it right out of the bottle on tacos. It's good on tacos. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. I'm not lying to you. I mean,
Well,
I've
I'd
had it
love
on
to try
tacos.
them.
I was just
When
kind
can we expect that one out?
oh, probably next month. Probably, I'm gonna say March-ish. You know, we got the Hillbilly Punch coming out pretty soon. We're waiting on the labels on Granny's Yummy. Just the labels is what usually takes the longest.
I feel like we should wait till summer for the Billy Punch. I think it would.
Well,
would
no,
get a
I
lot
understand that,
better,
but you know, when we were doing these we were thinking about seasonal stuff
Right.
because I thought that the peach blossom and the lemon drop were gonna kind of be seasonal. They're summer, but man,
They're still
They're
flying.
yeah, they're
still
going
flying.
crazy, you
Yeah.
know. And like I said, it's all because of, you know, all y'all just, you know, enjoying whiskey, and we appreciate it. I mean, we're not trying to take over. We're just trying to maybe, you know, y'all come down to the distillery. We'll talk about whiskey all day. You know, try to educate people that don't know. They think that, you know, all you can have is a vodka or gin or something like that. I'm like, no, this is good whiskey. It's not just brown.
When do you plan on having the full tasting room open? You got a date for that?
Oh, I'm gonna say it's probably gonna be middle of March, April, if our fair governor allows that to happen.
Yeah.
We're
Fingers
gonna
crossed. Hopefully it does.
set- We're gonna set up a contraption. You walk in, the mask goes right on.
I'm sure.
Gotta stay
Uh-huh.
safe.
What's your goal? Where's next for you? Where are you trying to get this stuff at to?
Does that say hippie shit on your
It
sheet?
does say hippie shit.
I don't know what
You should
happened.
do a mushroom infused whiskey next.
Yeah, that'll
I
be.
don't know
hey,
about that.
Dad, can
I
you
don't think I
make a
can-
mushroom infused maple flavor so I can do breakfast shots?
Handle any more trips.
Yes, you can. You did fine.
I'm about to
I'd
get on
like
the
to
trip
see
right
us
now.
go out of state, but you know, obviously we got to kind of dominate California too. So
Well, we're talking about that from even like the music side
Dominating.
of stuff. Is like you're trying to find a region that you fit in. You know, I can go out to Tennessee and compete against every person in the world,
right.
but there's not too many country people out acts in Vegas, Arizona, California. This pond's a lot smaller out here.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I build a base here, and then take it out. You know, it's the same thing Texas music's doing, and you know all those guys are blowing up Texas. But I wouldn't want to go to Texas and compete against those
That's,
guys. No way.
that's a lot of
Yeah.
competition,
Yeah.
man.
They get
I
no
mean,
love.
Jesus, you could just sit here and just name names. I mean, who do we see when we're in Texas?
Cody Johnson.
That was an awesome concert, front row.
Yep.
Man, that guy just sat on his stool, kind of like you do, and
Yep.
just told stories, and it was just amazing.
That's
You
great.
know, they had Cole Wetzel out there, and I mean, all kinds of guys out there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, they're
Got a lot of favorites
phenomenal,
out there.
but, you know, you don't, I mean, they've been out here before, but that kind of music is, you know, it's a red dirt road music,
Mhm.
and it's good. When I first started listening to it, it's because of you,
Right.
and I took a couple of Cody's playlists and started listening to them, and man, it's good music. It's not the same. It's
Right.
different. It is. It's a different kind of music, but it's country music, and I like it a lot.
Well,
Stories
it's like country rock. A lot of them are kind of have a rock roots, but you know, got a lot of country in there as well.
Oh no, absolutely. It's totally country
Yes.
music. It's just a different take on it.
Right.
Yeah.
It's
That's
like
the same.
your music. It's a different take on everything you're
absolutely.
doing. It's it's good. It's like, and we're gonna have Tim Stiles on the show. I mean, man, that guy is phenomenal.
Tim's he's ridiculous. I mean,
Phenomenal. That guy write a song in like 10 minutes. I'm sure they're full of
Yes.
shit, but I mean, that guy writes so many good songs.
well,
It's
you know,
ridiculous.
Tim's a real versatile player. I mean, he plays
Yeah.
the piano, the banjo, the bass, lead, slide guitar. I mean, he's awesome. And when in comparison to him, I'm a novice. You know what I mean? This guy's been doing this his whole life, and
Yeah.
what he does for a living. And we go out and play places like we played the other night. I lost my voice midway through the
Yeah.
set, and I looked over him and I said, "You got to pick up the slack, man, and play some songs, stretch this out a little bit so I can get myself together." And he played stuff, and we played 70, 80 shows together. I'd never heard him play before, and he played them well.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, man, you haven't played that song in years probably, and you play it like you're playing it every single day, and it's just people of that caliber. It's just fun to play with, and
Yeah.
it's
Oh, absolutely.
and him and I got a good thing going too. When we go in places, there's no dead time in the conversation. If I stop talking, he's picking it up, and vice versa. And we got stories, and it's like dueling pianos, but with
Right.
country music and guitars. And
Those
it
are fun.
kind of works. Yeah, it's fun. It keeps everybody entertained.
Speak-
It's kind of like Jesus and Fergie put together.
Yeah, it's exactly what it's
Yeah.
like. Yeah.
Wow.
Songbirds of our generation.
I don't know how you Catalina wine mixer.
Yeah, that's exactly
I
right.
don't even. So you guys, when we come back, we're going to have Joe play some music for us because that's one of the reasons I had him on here, and he's a good buddy of mine, and
Thank you for having me on.
he's entertaining.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to have Tim take the
He's
first
good
leg of
looking.
the
I
trip
mean,
tonight.
he's not as good looking as Cody is, but he doesn't have that waxed mustache or something going
Right.
on. So when we come back, we're going to have Joe Peters live here, you guys.
Perfect. All right, I'm gonna play just a tidbit off this new project that I got coming out. This is a song called Whiskey Will, and I feel like it'd be pretty fitting since this is Dead Horse Whiskey, obviously. Here we go. I won't call you up to tell you that I missed you tonight. I won't say that I'm sorry, I was wrong, you were right. I won't tell you that I love you, then try to pick a fight, but the whiskey will. I won't throw my phone across the parking lot, walk back in this bar, order up another round, drop a 20 in the jar. And I won't bum a cigarette and blow smoke in the dark, but the whiskey will. Girl, if you won't let me hold you, well, hey, baby, that's alright. You won't tell me we ain't over, just to get me through the night with a whiskey will. put the rest out when the CD comes out. Not a bad one.